welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
All right, hello, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Hello.
Nice little Wednesday here. Getting closer to that weekend. Big stuff
Trucking
going down.
along.
Got the Crawfish Fest going to be going down.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
Snack pack performance, 6 p.m. on the stage there. Abaco Amphitheater.
You know it, and a performance from a Vicious V.
Wow.
I will spit a few bars. Limited.
Okay.
Limited bars. I don't want to put too much pressure on her. She's got a lot going on.
Yeah, she does.
You're cool with introing?
Oh, of course,
Okay.
yeah. I'd be honored. That's going to be fun.
You feel free to spit some bars, too, if you're up there and you have the notion.
Man, how awesome
With
would
some
it
chocolate bars.
It would be so great if all of a sudden Kevin gets up there and goes, yo, 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 Denny's dropped that, and he just went
off.
hard on me.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck Jay Boy, like just like
Wow.
hate
Oh my
mine.
gosh.
Oh,
Wow.
that would be so funny.
He'd be like, what a dick.
But you nailed it. It was like, damn, Ross
Yeah.
is spitting some serious fire.
He's really good, but he's an asshole.
Well, that's part of the battle rap. You got to be a dick.
Okay.
It's part of the game.
Sometimes you got to be a dick and let them know who they're fucking with,
Exactly.
Kevin.
Okay, that's how it rolls on the streets.
That's
how it
how you
rolls.
play.
All right, gotta get that straight.
Got to remind him.
Yeah. You really kind of got here in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be wrapping up all of the big South Florida events. Pretty much by the time we get out of April, it's over. Like that's it. Everybody just packs it up. They head wherever they're going to be, and we just got to suffer through the summer. So you got Tortuga also coming up this weekend on Fort Lauderdale Beach. That's going to be going on.
Yeah, somebody was in our DMs trying to sell us Tortuga tickets. I was like, we're going to be a little busy at Crawfish, but thanks. Remember that one girl that year that tried to sell me tickets to something, and they were bogus tickets?
Oh, dang.
Which year?
No
I feel like
way.
this happens to
This
us
happens
every...
all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that there's a lot of bogus tickets out there floating around. Be careful.
Well, I don't even think, let's say someone did sell us Tortuga tickets and we wanted to give them away on the air. I don't think legally we can do that, could we?
No, we can't. It has to go through our promotions department.
Yeah.
They got to verify that the ticket's real because we can't be giving nobody a fake ticket.
Yeah, everything shows scammy. They busted
Yep.
a guy from Tennessee that was selling fake wristbands for Ultra last weekend.
Everything's scammy.
Yeah.
You have to, everything that you go to purchase, you got to look at it sideways.
That would be so easy to do to people at Ultra.
Oh, yeah, right.
They're all hopped up on goofballs.
Guy had $1,200 on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't trust it. And the Tortuga tickets aren't cheap. My son Ken was asking me last night. He's like, "Hey, we gonna go to that?" I'm like, "Nah, man, it's too expensive." I was looking at. There was a group I wanted to see last year, and I was looking at the prices. I'm like, "No, it ain't worth it."
The girl that was trying to sell them to me said, these are $399 tickets, but I'm selling them to you for $200.
I'm calling such horse shit.
Yeah, you can't trust it. Unfortunately,
You can't.
No.
You can't trust anybody. That's what it's come to.
Yeah.
Well, I remember me and you, Kev, we went to a spring training game. It had to have been a Red Sox or a Yankee game because it was sold out, and you said, Bird, I got this. And he did. Kevin found a scalper. We got really good tickets, but that was a good 7 or 8 years ago. I don't know if you'd feel comfortable doing that now.
Yeah, I probably would not. No, because
Because it's so scammy.
Yeah, right. That was before you got all the scam tickets.
Not gonna lie though, kind of made me hard seeing Ralston work like that. He's like, watch it. I'll get us some real good tickets. And within minutes, he got us some good tickets.
And there is something different between like a ticket like this. Mm-hmm. So if you have a ticket that looks like this, and then you also have a ticket printed out from somebody's computer with a barcode on it. Like,
Right.
I feel good about a Ticketmaster printed ticket that has their logo and everything on it. But something off of somebody's computer, I feel, is so easy to forge.
Oh, scammers love a fake ass barcode.
Yeah, like, it's just a different day.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, with technology where it is, in fact, I just saw today that ChatGPT can generate very convincing fake receipts.
Wow.
So businesses, employers, all that kind of stuff, they can make it with a barcode and everything else now because of ChatGPT. And so they're now saying, gosh, we're going to have to figure out how to do this. So probably a lot of the businesses, like for instance, Nordstrom used to allow you to bring stuff in and return everything with those crazy policies. I imagine all those will probably go away because you can't trust any receipt you have. I mean, unless you have every sale that a company makes and you can verify somehow that they actually did purchase this item through you, you're not going to trust a receipt. It's not one of those things where, bring in your receipt. You can't trust it.
Well, and some of these programs are better than others. Some of these AI programs, you could spend some good money on an AI program, and it's going to give you better product. It'll give you shit that looks more real when they're trying to scam somebody.
Yeah.
It's fuck.
Well, just today we were talking about the price of the Lady Gaga tickets. Insanely expensive. Floor seat for a Madison Garden show is going for over $6,000.
Whoa.
And tomorrow, I think it's at noon, her Miami show. She's got 3 dates that she's going to be doing now. And somebody texted in, they said, the Lady Gaga floor seats in Miami were $895 before fees. The Capital One presale started Monday. I bought front row in the upper level 300 section for $395. Still crazy, but the Madison Square Garden's out of control. So they will be cheaper here in South Florida, so that's the good news.
Out of a scale 1 to 10, 10 being super excited, you get front row Lady Gaga tickets. How excited are you?
What was the scale to?
1 to 10, 10 being the best.
I would say that I'm a 7. 6 or 7. I really like
Front
Lady Gaga.
Front row is awesome.
Yeah.
Of anything.
She's one of those people where, I like her songs, but you know how like you either like a song or you just love a song. And so I don't know that there's anything she does that I absolutely love. Like on my own, I'm not banging out Lady Gaga, but I respect how talented she is. I think she's a great performer, and I enjoy her music.
You're right. There are some artists that they're great, but for whatever reason, you just don't love them.
Yeah, I just don't know that it's necessarily my style. But yeah, it'd be a solid 7 just to see it. I'm sure, I have no doubt she puts on an amazing show.
That one thing she did on Saturday Night Live, I thought was so cool looking. The way they worked it out. They had a whole walking shot, kind of an angle from behind scenes as they jumped up on the main stage, and they had all these dancers, right? I mean, that shit took some time to practice.
Yeah, I got to go check that out because second time you mentioned that, I haven't seen that yet. I missed that performance, and I didn't see anything on it pop up anywhere.
Maybe it's all in my head. Maybe it doesn't even exist.
How much you been drinking?
I haven't been drinking much.
You been drinking that after hours or nowadays or whatever it's called?
This shit's expensive, man.
Nowadays got you making up scenarios.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat, they said, Blue Ridge Gator said, Tortuga looks like you would melt in 10 minutes. How can you enjoy an all-day festival in the heat? And I tell you, honestly, I think what I understand from it, you really don't. I wouldn't. But that's why you've got to get these special VIP, whatever they have, because they have these huge, kind of like bleachers on the side that look like they're covered. And so I saw all that setup. But those things, I think you're talking about like $1,000 or something like that to get some of those tickets.
I know. I mean, $1,000 for that, or $1,000 for all the ecstasy you need for Ultra. It's so tough.
Yeah, this is Tortuga.
Oh, my bad. I apologize.
Yeah, it's Tortuga.
You can't take ecstasy at Tortuga?
I don't think you're allowed to. You're right.
I don't know if country folk take ecstasy. I've not seen that at country shows.
They'll drink some beer and kick some ass.
They'll drink a shit ton of whiskey and beat your ass. But yeah, I don't know if they do that vibe. But yeah, I mean, there's just nobody that is on the bill that, I mean, it would have to be jam-packed with probably 5 artists every day that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't not see them. It's Jelly Roll is the headliner on Friday, and he's kind of like, for me, like what Lady Gaga is. I respect it. I think he's got a lot of great songs, but
nothing against Jelly Roll. I like you're saying. I think he
seems like a great guy.
Yeah, he's got hits. He can sing. It's just not my cup of soda.
He's just not in my upper echelon. I enjoy him, but yeah, he's not one where it's like, okay, I got to get to see this guy. I was a little bit surprised though because we do have our bracket of the best South Florida events, and what I told you at the end of the show has already flipped.
Really?
It was South Florida Fair against the Rib Roundup, it looked like, for the championship. And then Denny sent me the updated numbers. And now Oktoberfest at the American German Club leads the South Florida Fair by 10 votes.
Whoa.
And the Feast of Little Italy is beating the Rib Roundup now by 18.
Okay.
Calzone versus the bone.
Yep. KVJShow.com. So you can go if you want to flip that around.
We like a good fight.
That would be a good combination. A calzone style, but with rib meat in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it will work.
You don't have to put marinara if you don't want. You put barbecue sauce. Ooh,
I like it.
I do too.
Yeah, I would do like a rich buttery brown sauce, ribby brown sauce stuffed in the calzone.
It sounds really hard to make. You probably couldn't do it. I get it. It's very difficult.
Not this week. I couldn't.
You don't have any free time?
I'm not even getting my naps.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, the naps are not happening.
Ruh-roh.
Yesterday, today. I don't know about tomorrow.
Yeah, we're in full-on snack pack rehearsal mode, doing 2 a day.
Good.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
I love it.
Until
Okay.
Saturday.
Until Saturday.
Shaping up, baby.
No drinking before the show.
Is that a rule for me too?
No, you drink. No, because every time I go to do a sound check, it's usually at 10 o'clock in the morning, and she's got 2 drinks in her hand. What is it called? The hurricane?
A hurricane. It's champagne hurricane. It's a breakfast drink.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like brunchy.
It was either last year or the year before. You were real loose on a Saturday. I'm like, this would be fun. I like it.
There are a couple stories that we had today that I think are still going to play out a little bit more. One was we were talking a bit about what happened with the kids on bikes and the way that the Broward sheriff got that one kid off the bike. A lot of people are really, and look, I'm all about supporting law enforcement, and I hope they did do it right. But, some people just, you got a kid on a bike and it looks aggressive. People are already thinking that, the cops are just going around beating the shit out of everybody. I mean, a lot of people have that kind of perception of police, which I do not share at all. And so I typically always side on police. So I hope that he did do it correct. But there are people with some feelings about it was aggressive. But sometimes, look, you're a cop. You got to be aggressive. Just kind of the way it goes.
You don't see what happened before that either. That's the video part that I would like to see, like what built up to that, and then, get a full perspective of the situation.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. And then the other story that's just so odd to me, and we got an email here from a great email address, Shart777. It's about that Virginia Giuffre, the main Jeffrey Epstein accuser. She's originally from, what is it? It's Royal Palm Beach, right? I think she went to high school at Royal Palm.
Yeah.
She now lives in Australia. But, she's been all over. She was the main one that's really the nightmare for Prince Andrew, because she has gone into great detail about how they met, where they went, blah, 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 what he did to her, how he raped her, all that kind of stuff.
And she's got photographic proof.
Yes.
There's a picture of her, Prince Andrew, and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah. And then just out of nowhere, coming into Monday's show, a bus hit her that was going 68 miles per hour, a photo of her just black and blue in the face and messed up. And she said, yeah, the doctor told me what she has, like kidney failure or something like that. She has 4 days to live.
Kidney failure, 4 days to live. We were like, oh my gosh, was Prince Andrew driving that bus?
Yeah. And then the email that Shart sent in, and this is part of it too, local reliable sources are saying she was not hurt in the accident. Super weird. Yeah, I that's so odd. And like I said, for this Epstein story, it's not good if you're ever hoping Prince Andrew's going to come to justice, because, one, if she's dead, she's not going to be able to testify if they ever do get him to court, which I doubt they will. But
dead people don't speak a lot of times.
No. And then the other thing is, even if she's not, this story would look weird and really damage her credibility. If I were Prince Andrew's attorney, and I'm sure he's spending a ton of money on attorneys because he still has that royal money, that'd be the first thing I'd go after. Be like, okay, so what was this bus story thing that happened with you?
Why'd you lie about being 4 days from death?
Yeah, so you obviously clearly have no problem, fabricating a story and putting all this stuff together. So why would we believe that you didn't do the same thing with my client?
It's just a weird story.
It is odd. So, yeah, we noticed that as well.
We'll keep you posted. I'm very interested to see what's going on here, so I will stay on it.
Yep. So a couple of mysteries that still have to play out. Tara said, is anybody going to address the Express Pets commercial that you played yesterday? Yeah, Tara, we actually did. It was odd. We just threw it in there. It was just to notice, see if anybody noticed on April Fool's Day that it was a crazy ad about how you could basically buy a pet out of a vending machine.
And that there was a bunch of them in there. And don't worry, we check it weekly.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding, man. Some people thought it was real.
I figured it'd be a few, but if you miss that update, it's completely fake. That's not really a thing.
April Fools.
Yes. Some other questions that we have here. We have had some fun named places. In fact, our friend Goober, he gave a nice little tour for KVJ Nation. He went to Sugar Tit Moonshine up there in Sugar Tit, South Carolina.
Nice.
Quaint little place. Yeah, I got to see Bob's wife in the clip. It's a small little thing, but it's what you'd expect. It's quaint. It's a little moonshine place. And Shannon said, yeah, I was listening. There is a restaurant in Lake Tahoe called Lucky Beaver. My sons were dying to get a shirt from there, and I refused because all the girls were spread eagle.
Well, at that point, you're not really.
Oh, man.
There's no better way to be than spread eagle at the Lucky Beaver.
Yeah, there you go.
They go hand in hand.
And we were also talking today about words that teachers are banning in school. And there was one that I didn't even know, Huzz, H-U-Z-Z, that is basically like saying ho, hussy, whatever it might be.
Oh.
Your thing, yeah. So that is why that is banned. And Karina said, yeah, please look up goon and crunchy peanut butter.
Yeah, goon or gooning or being a gooner, that's got some porn ties to it these days.
What? Really?
Yeah, I would not. Do not put that in the computer at work. Poor Denny's gets in trouble when we do that.
He does?
Because it all goes back to his system. Like, the KVJ show's looking at porn again.
Oh.
Well, it's just pop culture.
I'm kidding. You can go for it.
Sorry, Denny.
Too late for me. I already got goon up here.
Me too. Sorry, not sorry.
It says goon, well-known slang term in sexual subculture of chronic and compulsive masturbators, used both as a verb and a noun, means achieving the trance-like blissful state reached when riding the edge of coming for as long as possible, perhaps many minutes or even hours at a time. Also denoting the absence of control, compulsively pursuing that feeling as an avid masturbator.
There is this dude on YouTube that really kind of delves into it and talks about it and says, this is a real problem for a lot of people who get addicted to porn. They are just jacking it all day long, Virginia, and trying to so close to coming, and then they're edging, and then they're wasting hours and hours. It's ruining their lives pretty much.
So goon is bad.
Gooning, yes, it can be bad.
Interesting.
It means you like jacking that thing.
Okay.
And you like watching the porn.
So goon was a word that had been banned as well, and I guess now we know why. And the other one is the crunchy peanut butter is the other one she said to look up.
I mean, I don't know that one, but if you had to guess, let me eat some of your crunchy peanut butter. What do you think that means?
It just says the superior peanut butter changed my fucking mind. I like crunchy peanut butter. Literally, everyone, you're a disappointment to society. There's nothing there that's...
You got to look on Urban Dictionary.
I am.
Oh.
Man, that's what it said for me. It says also there's crunchy peanut butter nuts. It says completely crazy, something that's so unbelievably outrageous and psychotic. I don't know. So that's all I'm getting on mine.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah. Okay. Dear God, I don't know how these words have these meanings, but they aren't allowed in my classroom in 9th grade. All these words are horrible that you mentioned. Yeah, so I guess.
And some of these words, I mean, some people. If I was to say edging or goon in front of my dad, he has no idea he'd be like, oh yeah, these are old timey words.
Yeah, goon is. Yeah,
they've changed the meaning.
They have changed. Some of these have changed.
Yeah, that's kind of confusing. Now, I got an email here that says, I have an OnlyFans account, but I don't do any sexual content, and my boyfriend is okay with it. Recently, I received a request for a pegging video.
Oh.
A couple offered me $400 for a short 20-second clip and mentioned they'd be interested in 4 or 5 more videos if they liked the first one.
Wait, so hold on. Is this a woman or a guy that's
I think it's a woman, yeah.
Okay.
She has to remain.
Slow it down and put on the music for him.
I just want to trigger the details right here.
My ex-boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend?
Yeah, my ex-boyfriend. In fact, she had sent us an email for makeup or breakup, and you guys told me to break up with him.
Oh.
But I did break up with him, but I still occasionally talk to him now. He said he'd be willing to do the video.
What?
However, he wants something in return. He's asking for a favor. Let's just say a personal one. And he also wants a percentage of the money. I haven't mentioned this to my current boyfriend because I don't want to scare him away by asking him if I can peg him.
Oh, my God.
What?
Okay.
This is complete. Of course he's
You
not going to.
cannot peg your ex-boyfriend if you have a new boyfriend. That's cheating, so don't do that.
You can't do it for free.
You can't do it for money.
You
You can't do it for free. He's right.
Unless the boyfriend is all into this and you guys are working out a deal. No, you cannot peg your boyfriend for money or your ex-boyfriend.
Does your new boyfriend know that you have an OnlyFans?
She said he did, but she's doing nothing sexual.
Right, but does
Pegging sexual.
Does he know that you've got this request?
He was initially okay with my OnlyFans, but he started getting upset when I kept in frequent contact with my ex. So I've cut back on how often we talk.
I can't imagine why he's feeling insecure.
You should cut back on how much you talk to your ex anyway.
Now I'm stuck. Do I go through with this video opportunity with my ex and do the favors and not tell my boyfriend, or do I skip it and avoid the drama? Or do I ask my new boyfriend to do the pegging video and risk scaring him away? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I think this is a disaster. I think at this point you should even be with your new boyfriend. If you're even considering this about going behind your new boyfriend's back to peg your ex for money, I don't think you should be in a relationship.
It doesn't sound like you're serious about the new guy. So, what do you have to lose? Ask him if you can peg him, make some cash before you break up with him.
Yeah, I don't think you should be in a relationship at that point. Unless, when you start talking about how you're going to step out on your mate, and we're talking about pegging.
Yeah.
Something
pegging.
that, for money on the internet?
How much money did she say?
Yeah, it was $400.
That's not $400.
That's not enough.
I think, right?
That's not enough.
Yeah.
I don't think she knows the going rate of pegging, Kevin.
We're insulted by that number.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine you're at dinner. So, babe, I want to talk to you about something. You know my ex? He offered me to peg him for some money. Are you cool with that? Yeah, honey. Love it.
Well, that is something, huh?
It's a lot.
Unless there's other details we don't know and they're in some kind of lifestyle that we don't know about.
If there's other details, we do want to know them.
We need other details then. But if your boyfriend has no idea that you're going to peg your ex-boyfriend
Right.
and you never even pegged your boyfriend, what the fuck's going on here?
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
You can't just throw these pegs around loosely.
Exactly.
She was.
Pegging used to mean something in my day.
Yeah,
right?
Back in the olden
Yeah,
days.
back in my days when we pegged each other.
Oh my God.
I just learned about pegging like in the last 2 years.
Oh, and
I
then
didn't even know what that was.
We know, Vanilla Vanna. We know. Yeah, you and Panda don't go to the shredder and you don't peg his ass?
No. I don't think he wants it, and I know I don't want it.
No.
We don't get down like that.
I would bet my face on it that Panda does not want to get pegged by you.
No.
Yeah, and somebody asked, what is the pegging? It's basically a guy getting ramrodded, dildo in his ass.
By a girl, and usually she's wearing a strap on.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a lot.
There's your lesson for the day, kids.
Just if you need
Class dismissed.
you have to Google it. I suggest don't Google it at work.
Yeah, don't Google it on your work computer like we do.
Yeah. I got an email here. It's very informative from our good friend John. He said a couple points from Monday's show. I've worked in construction in Palm Beach County for 24 years. Work in place cannot be removed in order to force payment. We'd had some stories about contractors where they didn't get the bill paid, and we were talking about being petty, and the one person went, this was in Canada, I think it was, and they took the window out of the house when it was below freezing, and the person paid him the next day. He said once it is installed, it is considered the client's property. Removing it is considered theft. So the roofer and window installer could each have been arrested for larceny and or vandalism.
Oh, my.
It'd be nice if it worked that way, but it doesn't. This is only an opinion regarding the no-name movie game borderline issue, but I say borderline is a compound word, meaning two or more words making up the word. Therefore, using line and borderline is using one of the words in the title. Okay. And we got also a breakdown of it, too. Engineer Keith always gives us some interesting thought on it. And he said, I was hoping somebody else would make this argument before me because I don't want to go up against Virginia. Always a bad idea, but here it goes.
He's afraid you're going to verbally peg his ass.
Yeah.
Bend over, Keith.
Yeah, he's basically saying the same thing. It's compound word, two words smashed up together. And he said, you know, think about other things and ways that you could use this. If you had the movie Godfather, you could say, okay, it starts with God, or the last part of it is father. You know, and so technically you wouldn't be using it, but you would be using part of it.
Look, it's going to be hotly contested, probably for years to come, Keith.
It's like WrestleMania, Kev.
Yeah.
This hopefully won't tear us apart, that I disagree with you.
Yeah, but I think we do have to probably say that, yeah, if you're using a part of the word in the clue, moving forward, that's got to be a ding.
I don't want her to not take the belt.
But, yeah, I mean, if you didn't ding it in the moment, you can't come dinging
Yeah.
around 3 days later.
She's like The Rock. She's
Yeah.
turned heels. She's a bad guy wrestler.
Yeah. And there's really no support for using that. Pretty much every email and every comment that we've got is saying that, yes, that should not have counted. Bird should have gotten the dub.
You know,
On that.
just got to get him this. Oh, this is a big one. Going into a crawfish festival with the belt.
If you want the belt, you're going to have to take it from me.
Yeah.
Now, if the clue is crawfish, I can't say fish.
No,
Okay.
you could not.
All right.
Yeah. Half of the word is fish or craw.
Yeah, break it. You respect the game, Sinicki. Respect the game.
Okay, well, we'll get that established here.
I pegged the game.
And a couple clarifications. Amber had said, I heard you talking about American Idol a few times regarding nepotism because I think at least twice. I know they had Brian, and I remember how they pronounce his name on the show. I was like, I've been saying it wrong my entire life.
They said
Maybe it's
Littrell?
Littrell. I think it's Brian Littrell. Not, and I always said Littrell. And I think it's Brian Littrell.
I think you're right, and I watched that entire clip.
Yeah.
Because you sold it on me saying about how
Right.
Lionel Richie didn't know what was going on. And
Your dad is who?
And then he came out and
Right.
sang.
Oh, my gosh.
I tell you what, he's had the literal guy, the
Yeah.
main guy
Yeah.
from Backstreet Boys, has had bad vocal issues.
Oh.
And I stumbled upon, it must have been from a documentary from a few years back.
Yeah.
There's an awesome Backstreet Boys fight between Nick, the dick face Carter,
Yeah.
who I think he's a dick. And
He's
versus-
fighting with
versus
Brian?
Brian. Yeah,
Nick the Dick.
they're all in a big.
Where were
They're
they?
in some kind of meeting, and they're talking about how Brian's voice isn't as good, and Nick Carter's being all like all fucking pissy.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good watch.
Well, they're getting to that age. I think that was always the knock on Brian's cousin, which is Kevin Richardson, where there were some comments that he didn't sing very well. And keep in mind, when these guys were all put together, they were, I think, they did auditions and whatnot, but probably the talent pool wasn't like what they have for an American Idol, or, when they put together One Direction on, what was it, X Factor, that you had a lot of options to choose from. And so, yeah, they may have landed on somebody. Keep in mind, voices change too. And, these guys are middle-aged now.
Well, I think this was an older clip when they were kind of in their heyday, but you could tell that shit started getting dramatic with the group, and the Kevin dude was the voice of reason. He was chilling everybody out and going,
Okay.
I want to hear what he has to say.
Right.
You got to stop acting like that.
Kevin with them good eyebrows?
He was more of the peacemaker than Howie and the other guy. Who's the other guy? They were just.
I think Howie might be the best singer in the Backstreet Boys. He's good, and honestly, I think Nick is a legit singer too.
They said it was Nick and Brian who were the best in the beginning.
Okay.
And there was competition between them two, and they had some beef with each other.
Okay.
It's a fucking age-old tale.
Okay. Yeah, so
I can't believe you know so much about the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, I did a deep dive, and I'm
he really did.
I really did.
So who do you want to peg you, me or Kevin?
Oh, AJ McLean. Isn't he in that group? Or is that in sync?
No, that's Backstreet.
Okay.
AJ's Blackstreet.
Amber said, yeah, I wanted you to know that the contestants are not auditioning with their singer parent. All the ones you mentioned go into the audition room by him or... Yeah. No, I think I'd said that. I think I'd said, yeah, because I was telling the story as, you know, you had Brian Littrell's son was there. And then, yeah, they're like the surprise, like, wait, your dad's who? So
You look familiar.
yeah, I think I said that right. They were auditioning, then their parents came out. But I'm like, I don't believe... My point was, I don't believe there was any surprise that Carrie Underwood noticed and be like, you look familiar. So, I mean, if you listen to how I set that all up, that's what I had said, where she's like... And I think she'd met him 10 years prior, and the kid looked completely different. I'm like, no, this is all engineered.
If you think American Idol is surprising you, you guys are very wrong. They are not. They know everything that's about to happen.
It's scripted.
Every part of that thing is fucking scripted.
Yeah, she said the judges may know the storyline and that this kid is so-and-so's son or daughter, but I just wanted to clarify that they are not auditioning with their parent. Yeah, they did sing with them. Yeah, I don't know that I had said that, yeah, they were bringing them in and that was how they did it. Yeah, they did sing on their own. Then they had their parents sing. And, you know, I'm okay with that. It's just all I was ragging on was like, that was no surprise.
Oh, my gosh. You're
Yeah.
the son of who?
I
Can't
wouldn't buy that
believe
part.
this shit.
Yeah, and then during the next round, the parents do not sing with them at all. Yeah, that's fine. But, you know, they may not sing with them, but it still could be nepotism.
Sure.
You know, because is there going to be favoritism on what a great story it would be to have Brian Littrell's son going on to the finals of American Idol or whoever celebrity's kid is going to be on it? I mean, that's nepotism. They're still there, and they got favoritism because of who their parent is.
1,000,000,000%. If you're in that competition and your dad is not in the fucking Backstreet Boys,
Right.
and you have a good voice, and Backstreet Boy kid gets to the next level and you don't,
Right.
you don't think you're gonna be a little pissed off and butthurt?
Yeah.
of course.
So, you know, I'm sure they're rooting for that. I'm not saying they're going to manipulate it, but they would be rooting, be like, oh, man, we need Brian Littrell's kid to get in there because that's a better storyline.
It was his own song, and I didn't think he did a bad job.
Yeah, no, and he's been doing it for a while. I know, you know, they live in Atlanta, and my buddy Bert up there does radio in that town, and he's had him in several times, so I think they're there frequently.
The one thing I've learned, though, through this whole Backstreet Boys journey that I'm on, Nick Carter's a dick face. I do not like Nick Carter. I'm not a Nick fan.
Does that make you feel that the allegations against him, not just because you're a dick face doesn't mean you're a rapist, but he's got some... some of the allegations against him are very serious.
He's got bad... I don't know all the details on that. All I know is he looks like a dick face. Somebody, I could just tell if I had to work with him, we would not like each other.
Yeah. But Amber said, I haven't watched American Idol in years, and I decided to because Carrie Underwood is one of the judges, and I have to say it's pretty good this year. I'm looking forward to seeing who wins. Yeah, I think Carrie's great on there. She's an amazingly talented... Her voice is strong. That girl can sing.
It is
She's
kind of
very
cool
good.
when the judges can actually sing when they give their critiques.
Yeah, she's legit. So I'm glad that it's good. I have no desire to watch any singing shows, but I'm sure it's great.
Remember when they had fucking Ellen?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Ellen?
Yes, I
Why is
forgot
Ellen
about
judge?
that.
That was weird.
Because that was when she was at the height of her fame, and they just anything they could do to put Ellen out there.
She was all fake nice to people, and then when the cameras were cut, let me chain smoke and yell at people.
Yeah. Ryan saying, I heard Seacrest is tanking Wheel of Fortune. Well, what do you mean by that? That the ratings are down? I haven't heard anything about the ratings of Wheel of Fortune. That would be interesting. I am kind of curious how they have been.
I watch Ryan Seacrest because I'm a wheel lover. I know it sounds like I'm hating a lot of people right now, but he's a cheese dick. I don't hate him.
Nick's a straight up dick.
Yeah.
Seacrest is a cheese dick.
I don't hate Seacrest. I don't think Seacrest is a bad dude. Nick Carter looks like an asshole.
You can't hate Seacrest. He's just not hateable. But you can also think that he is just, oh, God, it's cringy.
He's a cheese weenie.
He's a cheese weenie.
Yeah, I saw a funny clip yesterday that I'd never seen before. It was a younger Britney Spears, and it was kind of like when American Idol first got going. And she found out in this interview that Seacrest was doing with, I think, the dog, Randy Jackson. And it came out that Seacrest was straight. She's like, what? She couldn't believe it. She's like, you're straight? Like, she was so confused. She's like, oh, my gosh, I was so convinced you were gay. And I guess it makes sense. He's thin, he's neat, he's attractive. He didn't have a girlfriend for a very long time there.
In Seacrest's defense, It cannot be an easy thing to step into Pat Sajak's. Anybody who's hosted anything that long and that was that popular, the next person in usually just gets lit up.
Yeah.
It says here, since Ryan Seacrest took over hosting duties of Wheel of Fortune in September of 2024, the show has seen a significant boost in ratings, with the premiere episode drawing the biggest audience for a season opener since 2015. So
that's according to Seacrest. Lies.org.
Seacrest.com.
Yeah, I don't know if that's tanking Wheel of Fortune. So sounds like he's doing all right. Not surprised. He is.
What the hell do I know?
The consummate host.
He is. He's the host they all picked to just not be controversial, not do anything. He won't be found with like a dead hooker and a bunch of cocaine.
Well, he's fantastic at that. He is. I'll give him credit. He is great at just taking care of the basics.
I might have been a little hard on Seacrest, but I stick with my words on Nick Carter.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, enjoy your Wednesday. We'll see you back here on the KVJ Show. Goodbye.